Vice President, Jade International Inc. Today we're going to discuss the term Ex Works. From the Incoterms 2010, the term Ex Works is where the seller makes the goods available for the buyer. The buyer, under the term Ex Works, takes all responsibility from the seller's door all the way to their door at destination. The seller's responsibilities, Scott, are that the seller must make the goods available for the buyer to come collect the goods. Basically, under the book of the terms, all the seller needs to do is be able to open up their dock door. The buyer is responsible to pick up the goods. However, in the States, or anywhere else for that matter, it's very strongly recommended that any seller is not going to just let a buyer or their trucker come into their warehouse and collect the goods. So under the term, the seller's responsibility basically is to load the truck of the goods that the buyer has purchased.
What are the buyer's responsibilities under Ex Works?
The buyer's responsibility is to take the goods from the seller's warehouse all the way to the destination of where the buyer wants the goods to end. The buyer must hire the trucker overseas to bring the goods to the port or the airport. The buyer must also take care of the shipping arrangements, whether it's by air freight or ocean freight, the customs clearance once the goods get to destination, and then the ultimate delivery to their facility.
How does Ex Works benefit the seller, Mark?
Ex Works benefits the seller because it's very easy for the seller to quote. All the seller is doing is telling the buyer how much the goods cost. From there, the buyer takes all the responsibility. So basically all the seller is doing is saying, here are the goods, here's what they cost.
Mark, why would a buyer want to use this term? What benefits do they get out of this?
A buyer would want to use the term Ex Works because it gives them complete and full control of their entire supply chain process. They determine what routing they want to use, whether it's air freight or ocean freight. They can determine the transit time on air freight and ocean freight. They have the complete control of the customs side of things, and they have complete control over when goods should arrive, barring any customs delays.
Mark, the term Ex Works carries less responsibility for the seller. And in a perfect world, that's probably good. But can you explain how the benefits and what those risks are, and how does this term work in the real world?
The seller, by the Incoterms 2010, says that all the seller needs to do is just make the goods available. However, the seller does have some additional responsibility. They're required under customs rules to be able to file the AES. They're responsible for the AES being filed. When you're selling Ex Works, the buyer's forwarder is going to be contacting you to make the arrangements. However, you're also putting the responsibility on that buyer's forwarder to file the AES and other customs documentation for you. They are not working on your behalf, they are working on behalf of the buyer. There could be issues if there's any type of diversions or the AES is not filed, or you could be subject to customs fines and penalties. This concludes today's session on Ex Works. Thank you very much for your time. If you have any questions, please email or call at the number listed below. Thank you very much and have a great day.